Friends, welcome to CaFFe Gospel Ministries. The thought for the day comes from Prophet Malachi. How we all know God one Father, did not one God create us? Why then do we break faith with one another? More than a homily, I wish an apologetic teaching today. Jesus says, you must not call anyone on earth your father, since you have only one Father, and he is in heaven. Once I was surprised by one of the members of my congregation who said me, I will call you by your name, not as Father, because my Bible doesn't permit me to call you Father. I hope at least some of you may have already had a flash thought while listening to the gospel if the Catholics are right or wrong. Well, it is good to have a doubt and a question, but with a reflection. If nowhere in the Bible Father is used other than for God, Catholic tradition is wrong. But of course, ultimate Father and Creator is God and no one can stand in His place. But the instances of God's representation gets a title in many places as Father. Genesis 5:8, Joseph says, God has made me a father to Pharaoh. Job 29:16, I was a father to the poor. Isaiah 20:20, God Himself declares Eliakim as a father to Jerusalem. And in 2 Kings 2:12, Elisha cries, my father, to Elijah. Now the objection may come, these are all from the Old Testament. Where is the New Testament? Before we come to the New Testament, a few reasons to think of. First, the gospel imperative does not apply to one's biological father. Ancestors also are called father. Acts 7:2, Stephen says, our father Abraham. In Romans 9:10, Paul says, our father Isaac. Secondly, there are a number of instances where father is addressed to show a relationship. And third, a careful study of Matthew shows that this passage is not for literal understanding. Jesus is not forbidding us to call men fathers who actually are such either literally or spiritually. Paul regularly referred to Timothy as a child. He calls Titus the same. Onesimus he says as child and he has become his father. Perhaps the best reference to the theology or the spiritual side of how can a priest be called father could be understood from 1 Corinthians chapter 4 verses 14 to 15. I do not write this to make you ashamed, but to admonish you as my beloved children. For though you have countless guides in Christ, you do not have many fathers. I became your father in Christ Jesus through the gospel. St. John and St. Peter followed this same pattern. Bible frequently speaks of spiritual fatherhood, and this spiritual fatherhood which we have received through the apostles is a heritage of the church, and it is a gift given to the church. Now to stop where we began, do we all have the same Father who is the creator of all? Fatherhood of God is an ultimate reference. Life belongs to the Creator. No one should claim it. No one should promote a policy that harms the life. Some advanced countries have father of all bombs to annihilate the world. Our country's territories are already moving forward with assisted dying bill. Any authority that violently touches life could be seen in between the lines of today's gospel. No one you should call on earth your father, who has got power over your life. Because Jesus says, I have come that you may have life and life in its fullness. God bless you all. Father Tony.